Even on daily basis, we use Excel, and we use VLOOKUP, and we use a pivot table, and we use a formulas also, and we use a contif uh, things. So,
Okay.
even somewhat we know.
And I came to the session to know about the XLOOKUP.
Okay. So which means you know the other parts of the Excel.
Yes.
Okay. And others, I see one of them put in the chat.
For me, it's totally new. I have zero idea about Excel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys. Let me check with the offline folks here. Yes, I know about you two guys. Basic Excel. And you, sir? Basic Excel. Okay. Okay. So I see that most of them have the knowledge of basic Excel, and we have couple of professionals who are here, who have the knowledge of Excel, but they want to go at an advanced stage. Okay. Um, so yeah, so I will help you curate the session in such a way that we all are getting a benefit of this. Okay, before we start the Excel, just wanted have an icebreaker thing with you guys. Can you tell me, whether you're a student or a professional, uh why do you think Excel is important to us?
Yeah, most importantly, it helps to reduce the time while working. I am a professional.
It helps to.
Yeah, time reducing job. So if we know the control on Excel, we have the control on Excel, so we can do the fast work on that. That's why we need a advanced Excel most importantly.
Okay. And yeah, that's correct. And here one of them has told that to represent the data, we see there's a message in the teams that to analyze the data. Yes. So what we do is, get the data, work on that, calculate and analyze it. So that is what mostly we use in Excel for. And how this can help you is basically learning Excel, getting the benefits of the shortcuts of Excel will help you stand out in the job interviews. It will make you work smarter than working harder. Like basically, there are so many manual things which we do in life. We can basically, with the help of Excel, automate it. We can, create formulas in such a way that only with the one click you can convert all your manual activities into all the formulated one. You can help organize your activities and stuff with the help of Excel, and obviously unlocking a lot of job opportunities. You know that there are a lot of job opportunities only because of Excel. Just that Excel, that will easily hand you 20 to 30,000 per month job at a starting stage. But when you go with an experience, that will help you even go more. So it's all about numbers in Excel, how to work with the data, how to calculate the data, and how to represent the data. So these are the three most important things, which helps you get what to do in Excel. So now that we spoke about what do we do with Excel, why is Excel used? Can you guys help me understand where do we use this Excel? Where do we use Excel?
In companies and all other small businesses, I think we used to do Excel for reporting purpose, dashboards and everything, right?
Okay. Yes. Others?
Excel can be used anywhere, at the business, at the job level, the homework, anywhere we can use the business, because nowadays everyone is using the laptops, and so we need to calculate any total. The Excel is important.
correct? So basically, what I understood from you guys is that we use it in the business, we use it in MNCs, companies, everywhere we have data, we use Excel. So it can be as simple as we use that in schools, we use that in colleges, schools and all, we use it for attendance tracking, marks, every day-to-day activities, everything is linked with Excel. Even this particular course which we are teaching, your all data is stored in an Excel sheet, and that is where we understand that we have your contact numbers, we have your names, we have your email addresses. With the help of that, we are storing the data and we are storing this records. So this is also used in hospitals to manage the patient's records, staff records, schools to do recording the marks, attendance, creating timetables, stock markets to calculate the profits, loss, how much it is going up, how much it is going down. Yeah, we also use it at our personal level for home. Like we create a monthly budget ourselves, how much we are spending on the groceries. We note down and then we understand. See, in the month of January, I spent 10,000 on grocery. In February, I'm spending 12,000. And then again in March, I'm spending 8,000. So we can understand on an average how much we are using. And that will help us create our own finances in, regulate our own finances and help us plan what to do with the money. So it is basically used everywhere. It's not only used in this kind of professions, but also in professions like the lawyers also track their cases, track the timing of the cases. They have a date, they should know when the date is coming and all, so they will have to track it. And they also doing do this activity for logging their time, billing their stuffs. Event planners, which we go for weddings and all, we create a checklist kind of thing, right? So all this checklist is being done with the help of Excel. So it is used at many places like restaurants, NGOs, like every place you see there is an Excel. So this has now become one of the basic skills which every individual should have. And this is a skill which will help you. So even if you don't have a knowledge on anything else, like for example, a person who doesn't have knowledge on finance, like he doesn't know what is debts, debitors, creditors, and they don't know balance sheet and stuff. But if you know Excel, you can still land in a finance job just because of that skill called Excel. So that is how it is important. Now, what kind of jobs can we get in Excel? Accounting, data analyst, business analyst. So I'll help you explore to the job opportunities what we get in Excel. So the basic job first, what we can get in Excel is a data entry operator. Data entry is also one of the fields wherein you manually have to enter some data. Although nowadays we have a lot of survey related things which have come into picture, just that you give all your details and automatically that come into the system. But there are still some areas of work where manual data entry is recorded. That can, for an example, it can be a school register. In school, you don't really sit and put in the survey. You will have to basically write it in the register and stuff. Even in big gated societies, the visitors data and all, everything is being typed in the backend. Same is when you go to, if you have travel to any MNC company, and the first day when you go there, they will ask your ID proof, and they will ask you to give your details and sign it, right? So there are certain places where still the manual handwritten things are done in the register, and then later on, uh, in the backend, they will store this again information into the system with the help of Excel. So that's the basic minimum job as a data entry operator. But there are obviously advanced level jobs which we use in Excel, which is MIS reporting, uh, backend office assistants, HR coordinator, sales coordinator, project management, reporting analyst, inventory managers to note down the stock data to help them understand what kind of data can be stored. So all this kind of stuff is something uh, are still there, are the job opportunities which are there in Excel. With the Excel, and the combination of other analytics tools such as Tableau, Power BI, you get to land in many more opportunities, which is also being taught in this particular institute. So along with Excel, we have business analytics courses like VBA, macros, Power BI, SQL. So those will be the advanced level, and you can only go through those courses once you have an idea of Excel, because everything is related to Excel. So basically, you need to understand the concept of MS Excel here, understand what are rows, what are columns, what are the different formulas which we use in Excel. And then the same concept will be helpful as a base for you for the further advanced analytics courses. So you can either give a shot with Excel, learn this, get 2-3 months of hands-on experience, and then enroll for that course. Or while staying in the class, like the moment the class gets completed, the Excel course gets completed, you can enroll for the other courses as per your understanding in Excel. So these are all job opportunities which we have in Excel. Like for example, when I speak about Excel in project management. In project management, what we usually do is project management is basically you manage a project. What happens in project? It's like the project will start, then we build the project or develop the project, then we go through some testing phases, and then we implement it in and the project gets implemented basically. So in this thing, what all Excel will help? Suppose if you are developing a application to the client or someone. So in order to develop that application, you start with some requirements. What are the requirements? And then you execute those requirements, and then you test those requirements, and then you finally hand it over to the client. So all this 4 or 5 stages of the projects is something is done by a project manager, which is a project management profile. And what do they do this in this? Although the project manager doesn't know anything about developing that, but in the back end, there are jobs which requires Excel. And this kind of roles, what do they do in that is they track the project timelines. Key how much time it took for the how much time you have to complete this part of the project, in how much time you have to start your testing, in how much time you have to give your release. And then you, as a project manager, you assign the task to different people. How do you assign the task? Based on the skill set, and you basically put their particular names against each task. All this thing activities, monitoring deadlines, giving a red alert if the project is due date or below date, all these things we can do with the help of Excel. With the help of this conditional formatting functions in Excel, we can use that. So that is a condition based. Suppose you have to submit something on 21st of June, okay, today, but you are in a stage that this will only complete on 25th of June. So basically, it will give you an alert that this particular item which you have to do has been surpassed. So that will show you in a formatted column or row. That is something which you highlight. That is something which will help you highlight. So all those part you do it in Excel. Similarly, Excel in reporting and analysis. Now, reporting and analysis is something which is a most common profile in almost every company. So what do they do in reporting and analysis? Especially this is a part where human resources HR teams are involved. What do they do is they kind of pull data of all the employees from different departments. Suppose we are talking about um, an office has a finance team, an office has technology team, okay, it has HR team. So these are the three teams every office has, right? So what does the HR does is collate the data from every team. They maintain those records as a HR record, their name or employee ID, phone number, which department they are from, which cost center they are from. And they will kind of make a lot of charts and pivot tables and show it to the leadership. You know what? In the month of January, we have 25 people in the company. In the month of February, we have 23. And then by job level also, we can show that data. And all this data is needed for the high level meetings like CFOs and CEOs of the company. They They will see at this data and then they will plan how much headcount they need to raise in the coming months. And based on that, they do a lot of planning and analysis. Okay, so this part of Excel is required. In this reporting analysis, we also do forecasting and budgeting. Forecasting and budgeting is nothing but forecasting is something. Sorry, let's start with budgeting. Budgeting is something which you plan for every. Yeah. Okay. Every firm does budgeting and forecasting. Budgeting is something is called a plan. So they do a month-wise plan. Suppose if I am running the company, I will put a plan that my sales for the company should be at least 10,000 per month. So January to 10,000, January to December, I put 10,000, 10,000 like that. I will plan. Similarly, what is forecasting is? Forecasting is something which you see at current scenario and then plan. Budgeting will be something you plan it already in advance. Forecasting is you plan in the same year. So for 2026, I can plan it. Forecasting will only happen when I actually go into year 2026 and see. So suppose like COVID was there. Now, in COVID, nobody expected that, everything will be a shutdown. So nobody has actually, everyone has planned that the year 2020 would be a great year. But the moment we came in February, we got to know that there is COVID coming and all our plans will go on a toss. So based on the scenarios and circumstances, you have forecasted something. You expected that there would be a loss or decline in the sales. So all this forecasting and planning is something which is done by the Excel only. And this is done all with the help of the basic formulas and different pivot tables, charts. And all these things you can represent to the CEO, CFOs, or top level management. And everyone basically sees only this. Be it how much ever big company, Excel is important for them. And everything is connected to Excel. Your Power BI, your Tableau, everything is connected to an Excel. And Excel is again connected to data, as you guys told in the first step. So you can play around with the data just by learning this skill. Now, I will share my screen. Yes, so there is a question. If I will explain index, math, SUMIF, yes, yes, these are all included in our training. Please allow me some time. I will show you what is the course content. And with the help of course content, you can understand if you need to learn these skills, or if you already have all this knowledge, then you can go for the advanced level in the sense the VBO macros, which is automating the stuff, and Power BI and Power BI SQL. Okay. So I will show you the course content, and I will also show you how to download that course content so that you can go back to your homes and see all the topics which we are going to discuss in this course. And if you feel like you know these topics already, then you can go for the VBA macros or Power BI or SQL based on your interest in the learning. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So irrespective of whatever it is, whatever is mentioned in our course content, every topic will be covered. Just and I will also make sure that I teach from the basic so that the person who doesn't know Excel will understand, provided you should also be cooperative with me, and we do have exercises in between, so you will have to do that exercises. So if you don't do the exercises, then it will be a loss for you. So you make sure that you attend the classes. If you don't attend the classes, you have the recordings also, which we are recording in the session, and you can go home, watch the recordings. We will have the Excel exercises with you. Do those exercises. Okay. Okay, I will come to the part of that Excel there, the course content. Let me just, okay. I am sharing my screen. Okay, so before we start on with showing the course content, I just want to show you as a basic. As a basic, you can open an Excel directly. You can go here and search for Excel and then click on Excel like this, and the Excel will open. I will open this blank workbook. Okay, so this is how the Excel sheet looks like. We will start the actual batch, the contents from the basic from tomorrow. This is only the demo class, okay? So now, so in order to get to Excel, we need to know from where did the Excel sheet has come, right? And what is Excel? So Excel is basically one of the Microsoft products. Now, Microsoft has a lot of products which we again use in a daily life. Like we have Word, MS Word. So MS is basically Microsoft, okay? We have Word, we have Excel, we have PowerPoint, we have MS Access, okay? And then what we have more is we have Outlook. We used to have Skype, but now Skype has been decommissioned from everywhere. Instead of Skype, we have Teams now, Microsoft Teams. And along with this, this is related to Teams, which is SharePoint. And then we also have Power BI, which is also an MS Microsoft Office tool. So all these are a part of, I mean, at least not Power BI. Power BI is a part of MS Office, but we don't really consider it in as a office suite. So these all are a part of MS Office suite. So when anyone tells you what is MS Office suite, which means they're covering all these things. So MS Word, Word is again to create documents, offer letters, whatever is there, everything is part of Word. Whatever text you write is in Word. Okay. MS Excel, as I've mentioned you, MS Excel is, as you guys only mentioned me, that it is to store the data, calculate the data, and then finally analyze the data. And PowerPoint is basically the presentations. The presentations can be in a tabular format, in a picture format, or in the Word format. MS Access is mostly used for the development purpose. So what all we want to automate and stuff, we can do with the help of MS Access. It is used for very large amount of data. MS Outlook, you guys know, it's email exchanges. Most of 80 to 90% of the companies use MS Outlook in their offices. And then Skype, which was a communication tool, but now it is decommissioned. Skype was just like, our messenger, just to exchange messages and exchange files, but it has been replaced with MS Teams. With the help of MS Teams, we can share files, we can do video call, audio call, recorded calls. People conduct trainings like how we are using Zoom here. And the speciality of Teams is you can share the files. You can share a live file within each other so that you can also work on that file simultaneously. I can also work on that file. And then SharePoint is the place where we store the files or any documents which we want. Now, whatever you send in Teams will automatically get uploaded in the SharePoint. So that will be saved as well as can be used simultaneously by multiple people. So these are all a part of MS Office suite. Now, so so these things cover your MS Office suite. Now, next, as a next thing, what you will learn in this course is what I will actually explain you in a brief way, and then I will open my course content, and then we can go a little further. Now, at the end of this course, what you would learn is you would learn to enter the data and format the data. You can you do multiple calculations like totaling, averaging, sum if, count ifs, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is not actually a part of this course, but we can teach you the concept of XLOOKUP. So when we teach the VLOOKUP and stuff, we will teach the XLOOKUP. But the only problem is you shouldn't get confused between VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and XLOOKUP. So you have to be prepared yourself like that. Although VLOOKUP, index, and match are the most important used Excel functions everywhere. Those are very simple. All you have to do is understand the concept. That's it. If you understand the concept, it will be very easy for you. XLOOKUP is basically a combination of VLOOKUP, index, and match, which I will tell you, which has been lately released as a part of Excel development. And then how you make automatic updates to the formulas, how to create and visualize charts, and build a basic dashboard to the company. All these things we will cover, and in the end of the session, in the end of this course, we will help you create a dashboard. Okay, so just allow me a minute to grab the course content for you. While I do this, does anyone has any questions until now? Am I too speed? Am I too slow? You can give that suggestions so I can plan talking in that way.
Everything is fine, sir.
All right, thank you. Everyone good here? Okay. To speed. Okay, I will try to be little slower so that everyone can understand. Thank you. Okay. 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 I just wanted to show you how the dashboard looks like. Okay. Okay. So this is how the dashboard looks like. And this is what we are gonna do at the end of the session. So dashboard basically looks like a brief information of a company records basically. Cutting down a large amount of data into a small and a picture pictorial view. Basically, it will all be a visualization on how you want to show the data. So example, like if I click any button like this, it will take me to the sheet. And then I have multiple views. Like suppose this is basically a performance dashboard of this institute. Okay. And this is how the dashboard looks like. How many people attended, how many days the training was there, how is the territory view, how is the center view? You have pass percentage by month, by trainers, aspirants view. This is how we are gonna do with now how we are gonna do with this large amount of data. So this is called the data. This is called a raw data basically. Raw data, the meaning of the raw data means a simple data with no formatting, nothing. Is called raw data. With the help of raw data, we make something like this. For example, just giving you an example, we get cloth, right? A normal cloth which you get from any store. We take that cloth in the meters. We give it to the tailor. Tailor designs it and makes that content. He adds all those glitters and different kinds of materials to it and make it in a beautiful dress or beautiful sari. Okay, now this conversion is called, so that cloth piece was a raw cloth piece which a tailor has designed and made into something beautiful. So something like that is what we have done. This is a raw data and we designed in a different view. So it can be a sari, it can be a dress, it can be a dupatta or whatever it is. So that is how we also did. And we then, by clicking the home button, you go back to the home. By clicking some, okay, there is a macro attached to it. You know, by you have attached the buttons here so that the moment you click, it takes you to that particular page. This is all we do it in dashboard. Now you must be having a question, then what is the difference between an Excel dashboard, a Power BI dashboard, or a Tableau dashboard? So dashboard is basically picture presentation of your data, a short data. Now the Tableau and Power BI does the same job, but there are some restrictions when you do it with Excel. Excel has that limited capability of making a dashboard. And so basically how I can say is Power BI and Tableau, those dashboard comes with uh, a specific license which requires a lot of money, and it will also be a user based license. While in Excel, if I share an Excel sheet to you, you can transfer this Excel sheet to her, she can transfer to anyone in the world. But Tableau Power BI comes with license, and they also have at the license, obviously it's in dollars, the fees in dollars. The second thing is, if I send it to your email address, only you can access it, and he and she cannot access it. The third thing is, I can give you access only to the information which you can see. Suppose you are a CEO, you can see all the information, but he is a manager. He can only see the information of his own team. So that restrictions and the license fee comes with the Tableau and Power BI. Obviously, Tableau and Power BI have their respective own sets of default dashboards, and they have multiple more pictures and graphs when compared to Excel. But again, it's like if your company is investing in Power BI and Tableau, then you can learn that particular platform uh, and get skilled in that. But Excel knowledge is definitely required in order to work there. So whatever you work here, you will easily relate to there. And because your raw data is coming in Excel, so basically knowing Excel is very important for that. So this is how we create the dashboard, the same kind of dashboards you will see in Tableau and Power BI. The only thing is the restriction is the problem, and they have some more new designs to show the dashboards. So this is what you're going to do at the end of this course. Okay, just wanted to show you how the dashboard looks like. And now I will go to the course content. For the course content, so this is our course content, which I already took it here. Okay. Now, how you can go to this course contents is, go to your Outlook, sorry, go to your Chrome, okay, and simply look for this institute name, which is Excelytics. And then you click on the first link. And here in the courses, you go to Excel and you have this introducing MS Excel. Click on this and you will get the course content. You can download this content and look. You can go to your home and look at whatever we are teaching. I will give you a brief of what I am doing. So I have downloaded this. This is the content. Okay. So we will start with the very basic. what is Excel, what it is history, what are the basic terminologies which we use in Excel. I know that most of you guys know the Excel, what do we do in Excel, but for the benefit of everyone, I will basically start with teaching what are rows, what are columns, what is a spreadsheet, what is a workbook, what are the different versions of Excel, what are the file formats we use for Excel, how is the interface of the customizing the quick access toolbar. Okay. And then we'll start with basic items like how to cut, copy, paste the data, pasting the data in different kinds of options. Like we have paste special where we paste by value, by formula, by picture, by, keep formatting scenarios. And what is the difference between paste and paste special? What is format painter? Basically, format painter is if you want to copy a format from one person to another person, sorry, from one cell to another cell, you just simply click and get the same format. If that is in black color or blue color, you will copy the same format, height, row, size, everything will get copied. That is the functionality of format painter. And then we go further with font group. Basically, what kind of fonts are there? Different font styles in Excel, different font sizes in Excel, border styles, cell colors, how to color the cell, how to color the format, the font color, cell colors in the sense the background color of the cell. Font color means only the text color. The alignments, cell alignment, right, left, center, the orientation, the indent level. Indent level is basically if indent level is basically like this. Suppose the format as table is starting at here, but your text is starting down here. That is the indent level. How to merge, unmerge the data, unmerge and merging the cells, rows and columns. Different types of data types in Excel. Now, data types is an important thing. Basically, what kind of data you're storing, it should be in a particular type. Suppose if you're an accounting professional, you store the data in the accounting format. Accounting format in the sense your values will have dollar or rupee symbol against it. That is the accounting format. General format is basically whatever you write, generally that will come. Number format is again, you want to give any decimals to the number, like you want 2 decimals or 3 decimals, that is the number format. Currency is the same, like accounting. You can give any currency you want. Suppose you're working for a Canadian client, you put Canadian dollar there. You do for a US one, you put a dollar. You do for India, you put INR or rupee symbol. And then we had short date and long date. If you want to show the date in DDMMYY format, the normal format which we use, that is something short date. Long date is something you want to write as 21st June 2025. That is the long text format of the date. Time also, you have multiple formats. You give a normal for 24-hour format or 12-hour format, or you want to put with seconds, that is also there. And then you have percentage, fraction. It's the same mathematical function which we use percentage ke liye. And then we have something called scientific, which has lots of formatting in that particular option, uh, which I don't think we use it more. It's only used in the companies where actually scientists work, like ISRO and many big companies. And then we have custom number formatting. Custom number formatting is however you want to customize the format. So you have a list, you can simply type the kind of format you want and you get that format through the custom formatting. Now, custom formatting we use in places where you have multiple things. You have multiple details in one particular column. So you will have to customize and put it. Like there are some dates in that, some money in that. So you need to customize based on what you want to put. So that is custom format. And after this, it is like how you want to create your own formatting. Basically, you can store your own particular formatting with the help of custom format and always use the same format if you're using the same file all the time. Like suppose when you create a monthly report, we do a lot of monthly reports when you're in role of reporting teams. Okay. Same report you do on a monthly basis. It's just the data gets changed. So you can basically create and put that template with yourself, and always whenever the data changes every month, you simply copy paste your raw data into the sheet and refresh the pivot tables and refresh all your formatting. it will automatically get updated. That is something which you can do as a part of automation. The comma style, now we have like in mostly in the Excel we have this comma of 3 digits. Like when we write 5 lakhs, we put 5 like I'll show you. Okay. This is 50,000, no? Yeah, this is 5 lakhs. So if I put this in, it's giving only 3 comma for 3 spaces. So that comma settings also we can do it in Excel based on the client. If it's an Indian, you do it for Indian. It's for outside, it is outside. Increase and decreasing the decimals. Along with this, obviously the shortcut keys. Shortcut keys are very important in Excel. And then there is conditional formatting. Yes, Agam, you have any question?
Yes, so you will be showing the shortcut keys also, like which formula which you have used for the 5 lakhs.
Yeah.
So you will be showing the shortcut keys.
Yes, yes. Shortcut keys I will show you. And I'm a person who loves shortcut a lot. So I will make sure that you guys don't do any manual thing. You should use shortcuts only.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we also have a specific file for shortcut keys, which is a detailed document which we will share with you. And then conditional formatting. What do we do in conditional formatting? How we can store the conditional formatting, how we can highlight cell rules, how we can do top and bottom conditional formatting, how we can create data bars, color sets, icon sets, how to write complex conditional formatting. This is all covered. And post this, we will have some basically an assignment which will give you as a part of Excel, which you will need to practice it. Again, as I told you, practice is very important for this part. If you don't practice, you will lose on your Excel skills. But basically, it is anything, whatever you practice on a daily basis. Suppose, uh, it's suppose a person who goes to gym every day, right? He goes to gym every day, so it has become his own habit. But the moment he stops for 10 days, all all of his interest will go down, and then in order to come back to the come back to the form again, he will have to again do with the basic thing, like big start again with the cardio, then doing, what do we say, back workout, chest workout, all those things. Again, he will have to start. So Excel is also the same thing. Practice is important. The more you practice, the more nice you will get, the more form you will get in Excel. Okay. So that is really important when you do with Excel. And so that's why I'm telling. So at least for the sake of this class, which would be for duration of 5 to 6 weeks, you will have to practice it. If you practice what I teach in this particular weekend, so next weekend I will start the concept which will be related to the last weekend's class. If you forget this, then you will not be able to understand that. And same is the case when you work also. So that's why practice is needed. Format as table. Uh, Again, this is one of the concepts. From here, we will start to the little advanced level. So with the help of format as table, we will understand what is format as table, what is difference between normal and format as table, what are the advantages of it, how we can create a pivot out of format as table, how the formulas can be written in the format as table, and then how to convert the format as table from a normal format as table to a normal range table. And then we have cell styles, which is how to insert cells, insert rows, insert columns, and insert sheets. All these things I will tell you with the help of shortcuts. I will tell you how to do manually also, but for this particular things, we use shortcuts only. Okay. And then how to hide, unhide rows, row height, row column, again column width. All this is with the help of shortcut. How to name sheet, rename sheet, how to color code the sheet. These are all basics. I will teach you what it is. Basically, we renaming sheet is something you give a name to the sheet, like how I showed you in the dashboard. Did I close the dashboard? I think so. Yeah, here it is. So this is what we are naming the sheet as, right? With the help of this, you will understand the sheet name. Okay, this is called naming sheet, renaming sheet. And the same is hiding sheet. Basically, if I right click and unhide, these sheets are hidden, which you don't want to show it to people, but they are still there in the system. So hiding and unhiding sheet. And then we have fill options. Again, fill options is all this is with the help of shortcuts. I will show you copying down, copying right, left, up, copy to the selected range, fill by series, column and rows, and justify fill. Then find and select. Finding and selecting, like how we do control F, if you must have used it. You find something, right? With the help of this, we can find what are formulas, what are special options, like where are the blank cells, where are the formulas, where is a specific text placed. All those things we can do with the help of find and select. Until here, whatever you learn will be the first part of the advanced Excel. Okay. Now we go to the second part of the advanced Excel. Now second part of the advanced Excel starts with the formulas which we use. So there are this formula introduction where I will teach you what are the generic formulas in Excel. So with the formula introduction, I will teach you how to how to start to write a formula. What is a formula? How to start with the formula? What are the arguments? What is optional argument? What is mandatory argument in the formulas? What are mathematical operators? Comparison operators? Cell reference styles is something which is an important thing when you start writing a formula. Okay, so you should make sure you should not miss this class. Okay. With the help of this, only you will learn what is VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, everything. If you don't know this, then you will get confused. So cell reference is very important. And these are the generic formulas which we use in Excel. Text functions, date and time. I'll tell you text, date and time, mathematical, statistical. These four, if you see 17, 18, sorry, 16, 17, 19, and 21. Okay. These are the generic Excel formulas which we use. Now we don't use everything on a daily basis. So I will give you a set of formulas. I will teach you the set of formulas which we use on a generic basis. Like generally a person should know this formula. Okay. And obviously there are thousands of formulas in Excel which I cannot go through. But these are the generic ones which I will teach you because this will be important for any individual to know. Okay. Now, for an example, when we have did tables when we were in third, fourth standards, right? 2 table, 3 table. You must have maximum went to 20th table. You did not cross more than 20, right? If I ask you what is 24 into 23, obviously you will calculate it, right? The same thing. These are the generic ones, but there are thousands of formulas that depends on which job profile you are going to and what is the nature of your job. Suppose if you go to a research institute like a scientist or something, you will have to use scientific formulas which are not obviously taught here. That things they will teach you in your job role as a job aid. But these are the generic which we use. Apart from these generic, the most important one, I mean, these are the important ones. The most important as a part of the advanced Excel is the logical functions, which I will teach you completely. The logical and the lookup and reference formulas, which is basically your VLOOKUP, match, HLOOKUP, index, offset, direct, indirect, all this whatever mentioned here, hyperlinking, everything. Now, this logical functions and this VLOOKUP reference function is a part of advanced Excel, and you should know this. If you're telling that you are good in Excel and you are trained on advanced Excel, these are something which you should definitely know this. This is very important part of the Excel, and with the help of this thing, only you can secure jobs in the market. This is a completely needed thing at every firm, every company. So when I teach this topic, I want you to practice as much as you can. Even if you don't have data, we have lots of data available in the market. If you go to Google, you get a lot of data. Try working on this. And especially in this, I would say, if I mean the logical functions completely, and in this VLOOKUP and match, these two functions, sorry, VLOOKUP, index and match, these three functions. HLOOKUP nobody uses. I will teach you what it is, but nobody uses, to be honest. I never used in my life. I can teach you. It is same as VLOOKUP only. VLOOKUP is we do vertically, HLOOKUP we do horizontally. That's it. So, but nobody works horizontally. Everyone use vertically only Excel. So VLOOKUP, match, and index are very, very, very important function. Yeah. It horizontally we cannot do, like nobody does ulta. I mean, everyone does in the right side. Like, I mean, they have created for the sake of creating it. Like there are people, I want to do it like that. Like out of 100 people, there are like you see the Dettol advertisement. Out of 100 doctors, one doctor will say that germs are there. It's like that only. So not many use HLOOKUP. I have never come across in my career for HLOOKUP. So after you get the data, so this is all. So if you have noticed something, first thing was our storing the data. Second, you did a little formatting on the data. Third, with the help of the formulas, you have calculated the data. Now, what will you do with the data? You analyze and visualize the data. So that is the third concept in our course of how to visualize the data. In order to visualize the data, we need certain charts and diagrams to understand in Excel, which is what is the third concept in our course, which is inserting pictures, online shapes, sorry, inserting shapes, inserting online pictures, inserting different icons, like whatever, if you see in my dashboard, these are all pictures coming. These are icons and pictures which we have used from Excel. Okay. And spark lines, what are rows, spark line, columns, spark lines? I don't think we have used in this dashboard. No, we haven't used in the dashboard here, but spark lines are also a concept. And then filter options, slicers. Slicers is something which we use as a part of visualizing purpose. Slicers and timelines. Slicers is basically for rest of the functions of Excel, and timeline is where dates are coming into picture. Like here we have timelines. These are timelines. Okay, these are timelines basically. And do we have slicer here? Yeah, these are slicers. If you see, all these are slicers. These are timelines. And insert options, hyperlink, comments, text box, header, footer, word art, signature, all this, again, a visualization. So if you see, this is my text box, okay? And what did I say? Hyperlinks. These are hyperlinks. So if I click, I'm coming here, right? These are all hyperlinks. Hyperlink is basically something there is a link with. Now, for example, here also, if you see online, if I click this, then only this thing is appearing, right? This is also hyperlink. There is a function in the SQL backend which is making this computer do this job. So that is the hyperlink. Yes, Agam, you have any question? Oh, this hand was raised earlier, that one only.
Hello.
Yes.
You did add for pivot table, so it is not a part of our syllabus or what?
Yeah, pivot table is part of this.
Okay.
I am coming to that concept. We still haven't gone to pivot table yet.
Okay.
Where is pivot table? Yeah, we have pivot table here. Yeah. Okay. So where were we? Huh? Insert options. These are all insert options. And then calculation options. What are automatic calculations? What are manual calculations? Basically, this is a concept where you work with large amount of data and you have lots of formulas written in your Excel. So when you open an Excel, it will take a lot of time for you to open that. So that's the reason we have put, there is a function called automatic and manual calculation. With the help of manual calculation, you can open the file easily, but the calculation will take place only when you want the calculation to run, or else it will just be uncalculated data. So that is only when you work on very large files, because there are certain large files which would also take 2-3 minutes to open. In that cases, I'm telling. And then data management techniques, basically creating a connection with a database outside the Excel from the system server, creating a connection with text file, creating a connection with a website, getting the data from the website from the external sources, and then working on that. Sort and filter, you must be knowing sorting, ascending to descending order, descending to ascending order. And then you can sort with the help of text color, number, text, icons, all these things. Data tools, splitting the data from multiple columns using text to columns function. Flash fill, you want to fill the data as per the patterns. Remove duplicates, remove multiple duplicates. These are all which we use when we work on Excel. And then splitting tools, removing duplicates, yeah. And then data validation. Data validation is again one of the important concepts. Basically, data validation is something where you validate what is there in the data. Creating an input, what is static data validation? Creating an input message, like whenever you creating an input is like, for example, if you have written you have done a lot of surveys, right? When you put a survey there will be something written, right? Please put, suppose in the survey they say mention your date of birth, okay, and they also write there in the down, please put in ddmmyyyy format, okay. So that particular thing is done with the help of creating an input message, that input message. And with the help of this, we also have a warning message also. Suppose if you put in wrong format, it will automatically trigger the warning key you put in the wrong format. So that is what we have here in the stop and warning thing. And then what is how do we do dynamic data validation using multiple formulas? How you use a dependent with the named range? What are clear validation data? What is clear validation data? And clear validation data validation is basically whatever you put as a function in data validation, you want to clear them. And clear validation circles is when you put a particular validation. Suppose I put a validation that nobody should do less than 5 lakhs of sales. So it will circle your people whoever did less than 5 lakhs. So if you want to clear those circles, that is the use of clear validation circles. Okay. I think I did not discuss this. Define names and name range. So basically there is something called name manager, wherein we give a lot of data a single name. So suppose there is a data of 10 rows and 10 columns, 100 cells. Okay. I want to name this particular table as one particular range. Suppose I name it as Excel. So wherever I type Excel, automatically this data comes up. Wherever I use Excel, this data will get referenced. So that is the name range. And then we have something called forecast. Forecast is a newly added Excel function in Excel. Let me just show you that. This what if analysis and forecast. This we don't use much, but I'll show you how to use it. This is basically, as I told you, right? Yes, it should be there. So, uh, 1 second, there is some heat maps. If we have that particular function, I don't think we have that in Excel. I can come to that point. What if analysis and forecast is basically, if you want to do, as I told you in the starting, like what is forecast? Forecasting is something you want to forecast based on your current scenario of the business. So if you give a set of data and you click on that forecast, it will help you in forecasting how your sales is gonna be. But not many of us use this because every company has a different strategy for forecasting their data. Excel has built a tool just to show what it can do, but many companies use different types of forecasting. Suppose I am a person, I will do with a 10% scale of forecasting. Maybe you can do with 50% of forecasting. 50% in the sense you will say that my sales will go up 50% next month. I will keep a consistency of 10 months. So that depends on business to business. Yeah, a kind of prediction only. Yeah. Again, it depends business to business scenarios. Like I can say that gold rate will reduce down tomorrow, but anything can happen. Israel and Iran are fighting, gold rate will automatically get increased. It can be anything. So that is based on the situations also in the world, which Excel doesn't know. But Excel will only play with data again. You give them data, Excel will only analyze with the data. Yeah, it will only analyze with the historical data, yeah, previous data. But you should also keep in mind what is happening in the world also outside, politically, geographically. So that is about the forecast. And then outline group. Outlines are basically grouping and ungrouping certain rows and columns which you don't want to show, but you don't want to show as in the picture, but there is data basically. So with the help of plus mark, we hide some rows and columns. And if you click on that, it will get open up. And this, though, I mean, data protection techniques, spelling checks. Every application is having a spelling check these days. It will only check the spellings. If they are wrong, it will highlight you in the red, and it's like an autocorrect. Yeah. So that is a spell check. Protection techniques, how you want to protect the sheet. You can protect a sheet, uh, which means nobody can edit anything in the sheet. That can only be edited with the help of a password. But you can see the data. So when you compare with Power BI or Tableau to the Excel, in Excel you can see the data. But in Power BI and Tableau, you can protect the data by not showing them only at all. So that's the loophole, basically. So protecting sheet in the sense, Excel. So for example, I am a HR, okay. What I did is at the end of the year, I created everything. I gave the salary percentage hike to everyone and I have fixed those numbers. Now I will give it to the leadership. Key boss, this is the data. These are the hike numbers of everyone. I don't want that guy to change anything because HR number are the final numbers. So I send him. He will see. Even if he wants to change anything, he cannot change anything. That's what we can do with the help of protection. You can see the numbers, you can see everything, but you cannot change anything in that. That's are the final fixed numbers for the year. So that is what the workbook protection. You can protect the sheet like that so that nobody edits any data. It's not only the sheet, you can protect the cells inside the sheet also to not change anything. And comments are something you want to insert, show, hide, and delete. So basically, suppose you're working with me, okay, and I have reviewed the file and I put some comments. This is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. So what you will have to do, you will have to go to the comments. You have to go comments, see what is the comment, see what is the resolution for it, complete that activity. So that is how you use comments. If you want to show anything specifically, key, what I write that there was a sales of $6,000. But you come to me, you comment on the file, and not only comment on the file, basically when we work on the shared file, you're also working, I'm also working. So when you are working, you will just put a comment there, key, what, Hemant, this particular cell value is wrong. Matlab 6,000 is a wrong. So that is how commenting works. So I will again go back and see the comment. Oh, this number is wrong. Maybe I will have to revisit and see what is happening. I have to give a clear calculation for that. So that is how commenting is required. And then after your work is done, you can delete the comment. And then notes are basically the same like comments. You give a note like a disclaimer whenever you give the data. You can hide notes, you can modify notes, you can delete notes. Now, the workbook view. A workbook view, again, this is like a visualization. You want a normal view, you want a notebook type view in the workbook, and how you want your page layout to be, you can put it. You want a header, you want a footer, like we have it, like page numbers, right? As a footer, page number 1, page number 2, page number 3. Similarly, we can do that page layout in Excel as well. Grid lines, This is used in again visualization. If you want to hide the grid lines, hide the formula bar, just like how I did just now, right? If you see, we were able to see a lot of data formulas, right? If you see, I am hiding the formula bar and removing it like this. I don't want to show this, right? So I will put like this. I don't want to show anything to them. So all these things you can do with the help of, this is only when you do a dashboard kind of thing or a visualization stuff. Grid lines is basically this thing, like this is there. I want to remove the green. It will turn everything into white. So this is when we use this is in dashboards. We don't want to show the backend lines to anyone. Or basically I don't want, so grid lines means everything will look like a table to you, but I only want only this part to be shown in the table. So I can do like this. I can go here and I can put tables like this. So see, everything looks white, only this particular part which I want to show looks in the table. So that is what we do in the grid lines, hiding the formula bar and headings, which I just showed you. And coming back to is pivot table. Now pivot table, we will learn the pivot table concept in format as table also. In format as table, we only format the contents of the table, okay? But in pivot table, you do a lot of things like you, in format as table, you can maximum use slicers there, but in pivot table, uh, you will know how to use the pivot table, how to insert it, how to change the data sources. Suppose my data for last week was suppose 1,000 lines, this time it has become 10,000 lines. So I can simply reference, I can simply refer, change the data source of this pivot table and refresh the same pivot table as it is. But in terms of format as table, you will have to copy and paste the table. So how to refresh it, I will show you. And there are 4 columns in the pivot table. So 4 items in the pivot tables: rows, columns, values, and filters. I will show you how we use it. No, it will be a normal query. Yeah, no, no. If you want, I can help you with that as well. That is like simple thing. It's just the advanced level of pivot table. So, and then in pivot table, how to insert slicers, insert timelines, which we just see, which we just saw, and what is the difference between the slicer filter and the report filter, how you can connect multiple pivot tables with single set of data. And there is something called calculated field, which is an important formula in important thing in pivot table. So basically in pivot table, you can do calculations also, which you did not do it in Excel. So that can also be done. What are the pivot table value settings? If you want to hide subtotals, hide grand totals, how, if you want to convert the numbers into the percentage format, like if you want to show in terms of row total, column total, that can be done with the help of pivot table. And then we can integrate this pivot table with the charts, different types of charts which we have. Now, if you see, uh, the moment I am clicking anything, my charts are also changing, right? So this particular part, this slicer is something coming from the pivot table, okay? And these charts are a chart section. So with the help of pivot table, you can work on charts as well. So that is what is or integration of charts with the pivot table. And there are types of charts like column, line, bar, pie. So basically these are bar diagrams. There will be, do we have anywhere used? I don't think we used. Okay. So there is a pie diagram also, which looks like a pizza. So uh, that's a pie, and there is area. And what is a static chart? The designs in chart, you want to show labels, don't show labels. Like this, these are labels, 50% and all. You want to show, you don't want to show, all those are there with the charts in the chart settings. So all these things you can do with the help of charts. And ultimately what we do is we create dashboard. How is this dashboard created? Using pivot tables and charts. Now if you see everything is a pivot table and a chart. The below parts are the charts. These are the pivot tables. These are the timelines in the pivot table. In pivot tables, along with slices, I said you, there are timelines also. These are the timelines. These are the hyperlinks which we use. These are the text box. These are the icons which I said you we will use. All this collaboratively make your data into a dashboard. Now, what do we do? What did you understand here? We will understand here how to get the data first, how to work on that data with multiple formattings, multiple calculations, then how we come with a pivot table, how how we use the pivot table, how we can get items in the pivot table, then we understand the shapes, charts, and then integrate charts and pivot tables together, and that is how a dashboard is created. So these are all the concepts which I will teach as a part of this course. And there will be obviously multiple places where I will give you some activity to work on. If you only work on that, then only you will understand the other concepts of the next session. So basically, after this weekend, suppose you get any assignment, these concepts are used for the next session. Else it will be difficult for you to understand. So this is all I teach as a part of this course. So let me start with online. Do you have any questions?
Yes, I want to know why the micros are not covered in the advanced Excel doc.
So for macros, we have altogether a separate session. So it is why because there are multiple people who only come here for the basic and this advanced part of the Excel, whereas VBA macros is for the automation purpose, and to know the automation topics, you need to know Excel. That's the reason we have it as a part of the another course.
That most of the topics are related to the basic Excel only, which are covered in the advanced Excel. So advanced Excel should be with the macros and all and the formulas.
Yeah, so that particular the formulas what we teach here is a part of this course. Again, as I told you, if you are looking for a macro session where you want to learn more advanced into Excel, so that particular part is a part of another course, which is Excel VBA macros. So in this course is basically curated for people who knows very minimal of Excel or who doesn't know Excel. And I think that's the reason I purposely wanted you guys to see the curriculum to understand in which part of the batch you want to be a part of.
So may we get the topics of advanced Excel which I was
Looking for, yeah. So if you're looking for the macros, you have it here. These are all the advanced part.
so in this topics, even the basic Excel is also covered.
No, it is only this part of
So, sir, this session is advanced Excel formulas. You will only show the practicals, right?
practicals in the sense.
Means how the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP will work, huh? Means
Yes, yes.
yes, right. Okay.
Whatever covered in this particular content.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's what I wanted you guys to be very clear, and you guys should know what you want to learn, and that's the reason I have opened this Excel, because there shouldn't be like, you were expecting a VBA in this particular or macros in this particular session, which is not covered. In terms of macros, a little introduction of macros I will show you while I will teach, because that is not covered in this. That's basically the recording part of the macros and how you use it. But the core macros automation thing will be done in the VBA class. And as I told you, in order to know that, suppose if you know everything, like 80% of what I'm showing in this particular course content, then you can probably go for the VBA advanced session. which is macro session. I just wanted to be clear of this thing so that you have a right expectation with us. Yep. Any more questions from the online?
No, sir.
Okay. So should I consider that? So this is for the demo today. So if there are no questions from the online batch, I can probably stop the recording and end the session for the day.
Hello.
Yes.
This was the only session for today. It was the demo class.
Yeah, this was a demo class.
So you
From
just shared us the syllabus that we can saw in
yes,
Google as well.
yes, yes.
Actually, we are thoughting you might be showing some formulas and how
Yeah,
the
exactly.
things goes, but what is the
Okay.
coming purpose of demo? I think it is doesn't use for us.
So
Yeah.
it's like formulas and all. If I talk about it today, basically we need to start with the curriculum, right?
Yeah, but at
Curriculum or
least
what?
yes, sir. At least with 10 or 12 formulas, if you can show us, people might be interested to come to join in the institute rather than just seeing the curriculum. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, you want me to show some formulas and stuff? I can show you.
Just tell me that 10 for what are the chart I've given you that formulas. Can you just please explain so it can be useful for us? So maybe we think to come to join to the institute.
So let me show you something.
Yeah, please.
Allow me a moment to open a file. Okay. For example, like I will help you with the VLOOKUP. Suppose this is a database, okay? We have this employee data. This is a raw data, which has the employee records. Now, this data has a lot of columns. If you see the columns starts with the range A, B, C until W. So columns are always in the alphabets and rows are always in numbers. So we have a record of 1138 rows and we have all these details. Now in these details, suppose you have got some data. Suppose somebody have asked you, suppose your manager asked you to give me the salary details of these employees. Okay. Now, as a normal individual, what will you do? How will you get the salary details of this employee from the employee data sheet? Now, these are the salary details. Suppose the salary details are there in some other Excel sheet. It's not a part of this Excel sheet. And and basically your manager wants the salary details of all these people and you want this table to be sent in an email. So basically you fill in the details and you copy paste this table and your email and you send. How will you do this? Like generic idea. Like, can you tell me?
We can add a
We can
VLOOKUP.
use by a VLOOKUP.
Hmm.
Correct. So So this thing, as you told, correct, it can be done with the help of a VLOOKUP. How you do a VLOOKUP? You will need to write a VLOOKUP formula, which is VLOOKUP, and then you go to the employee ID, you select your lookup value, whatever you want to select, okay, and you go to the, it is asking you to the table array. So these are all the, so this particular part in this in between the brackets is basically your syntax, and in the syntax whatever things are there are called arguments. So lookup value is one of your argument, and then you go to the table array, you go to your employee data, you select where the table is, okay, and how you select is wherever your lookup value starts, from there you have to select the table array. So my lookup value starts with employee ID and my annual salary is here. I can either select my table till here, or I can simply take the whole table from there. That is up to me. But my only requirement is currently till annual salary. So what I do is from the employee ID, from the lookup ID which I have, from there till the annual salary, I select the whole table. Okay, I will ask this system to look that particular employee ID across my whole table wherever that employee ID is there. Okay. And then what I do is, if you see the number of columns is telling me 4. So before I come here, what I do is I will freeze my table, which is basically absolute and relative freezes, which I mentioned in the course curriculum. And then I put 4, which is my number of columns. And then I give 0, which is basically the 0 means true, which is approximate match, an exact match. And then I press enter. And see, I got all the salary details there. And with the help of my drill down function, which is Control D, I copy down the formula. And if you see, now if you go here, select this person, go to his particular employee ID with the help of find and replace, Control F. I went here. If you see, his salary is being shown as 530 to 180, which is I got here. Now this is something which we do with the help of VLOOKUP. Now VLOOKUP comes with only one disadvantage, which is you can do a VLOOKUP only towards the right of the cells. What if you want to do towards the left? You have index, you have match functions, which you can do it wherever you want the lookup to be done. Now this particular file, this particular things, if you see, now you want to copy the same data. Now you want to copy this data, okay? I am doing a simple copy paste, okay? Copy is Control C, and I am pasting the data here. Now if you see, I'm getting NA. Why I'm getting NA? Correct, exactly. The location of the formula is somewhere else. So if I just want to show the values anywhere, all I do is copy the content and paste this content as paste special. And you see, I have pasted this content as a space special. Okay. So here what you're doing is you're removing the formula. If you see, if I click here, there is a formula showing up here. But if I click here, is there any formula showing up? And how did I take out that formula? With the help of paste special. So when you do a normal copy and you do a normal paste, your formula will also get copied. But if you want to paste it only as a value wherein you don't want to show any formula, that is done with the help of paste special. Now, what else you can do with this is, I am copying this, okay? You can paste this formula as like this also. If you want to show it in a horizontal way and not in the vertical way. Yeah, the Alt ES, and then you have multiple options in the paste special. If you only want to, copy the formulas, you can copy the formulas. If you want to copy the value, you can copy the value. If you want to copy the format, you can copy the format only. For example, format copy, I'll show you. Now, this particular thing, let me put this in percentage, okay? Now, this is in percentage. This is not in percentage. I want to copy the format. I copy and I'll paste it here. I'll press Alt ES, I don't want to change the values. I just want to change the format. The format is this. So if you see, for every word, every letter, there is an underline. This underline denotes what you want to press the next letter. So if I press T, it will automatically take me to the formats. And I press OK. See? Now, where do we use this format is, suppose you have sent me a file, okay, and you did a lot of formatting on this. You used multiple, fonts and all. I don't know what you used. I can't go here every time and check what font size you took, what font color you took. Some people take different font colors from this particular window. We don't even know which number is and how much percentage they have used. So in order to, skip that particular thing and put everything in the same format, we do this copy as format function. And this is how we use copy function. Now I'll give you an example of a pivot table. Now this is my pivot. Let me create a pivot table. Now pivot table I can create with the help of a shortcut also, and or else I can create with the help of a normal manual. So for pivot table, always we need to keep in mind that we should have a name for every column. If there is no name, then we cannot create a pivot table. So either you need to give a name or your data should have a name. So for pivot table, suppose I create a pivot table. This is how the pivot table looks like. Now in pivot table, I want to make a lot of, I want pivot table is basically summarizing your large number of data into a smaller crisp details. Now there are a lot of employee related data. I want to see the employee count with the help of pivot tables. So what I do is I take employee ID in the values, okay, and then I will see location, office location, okay, and then I get a count by office location. So can you tell that particular office location with the help of the raw dump? No, that can only be possible with the help of a pivot table. So basically you can go to the office location. A normal person would go to the office location, check, oops, sorry, uh, check for the details in the office location, then click Hyderabad, and then you see the count 800, and then you tell it to someone that it is 800. But with the help of pivot table, you normally get to see Hyderabad is 800. Now in this, you can customize a lot of things, like customizing in the sense I can check by cost center how many people are there, like cost center name. You see, by cost center, there are these many people. In administration cost center, there is 1. In development, there is 3. In technology, there is 85, like this. You can also sort this. How you can sort this? Sorting will always help when there is only one, okay? One row in the filter. So with the help, when you do a right click and sort, you can do sort smallest to largest or largest to smallest. Suppose I did largest to smallest. So I can know which location has a lot number of employees and which are having the least employees. And in this, you can do a grouping by cost center. It will again show in Hyderabad how many cost centers are there, like that. And with the help of this, you can also do it like this. Summarize value, show value as percentage of column total. So you see, if you want to give a percentage, 100% of the employees, 70 are sitting in Hyderabad, 14 are in Chennai, 9% is Bangalore and stuff. So you can do this thing with the help of pivot table. Like slicer I was telling, right? Slicer, insert, sorry, in the pivot table only we have slicer. Insert slicer. Now slicer we can do with the help of, suppose, role. Oh, there are only 2 roles. Okay, let me change this. Let's do with the help of cost center name only. Okay. Now slicers will help you understand. Slicers will act as a filter only in your pivot table. If I click administration, it will give me only administration related data. If I click business analysis, it will only give me business analysis. And there is an option to select multiple also. I want to see only facilities and business analysis data. So with the help of slicers, you can change like this. So this is what we do in the pivot table. Now, more advanced into this pivot table is we have something called slicer connections. Report connections. So if there are multiple pivot tables, you can connect all these uh, pivot tables to one slicer. And the moment you select the slicer, all your pivot tables will also show the filter accordingly. That's the way I was showing in this particular dashboard to you. The moment you select anything, everything will get impacted like that. So this is what we do in the slicers. So and then you also have charts. These are all slicers. Let me just delete this. So so in this pivot table, you have something called pivot charts. As I told you, there are multiple charts. Like suppose this is one of the charts. This will easily help you understand at a broader level how much of the content is from Hyderabad, how much is from Chennai, Bangalore. And with the help of this, you have something called labels. With the help of labels, you can put labels also. And labels also you can put where you want to put. You want to put it in the center, you want to put inside end, outside end, best fit. Best fit will make you fit the data labels in a best way possible. So all these things with the help of charts you can do. Now all these things together collated at one place will become your dashboard. That dashboard will basically be your, you go here, you remove your formula bar, you remove your grid lines, and all these things. If you put, it will turn into a dashboard. And then you create a text box, you link it, and that is where your sheets will move. Now this is what I was teaching you as a part of a pictorial representation. But actually you do a lot of stuff is with the calculations, with the formulas which I was talking about. So getting the data from the system, from the server, all these things will be taught as a part of this course. So yep, are you good with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, sir. It's good.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to teach. Sonali, are you good with this?
Yeah, I am.
Sir, a small request. Can you just show us XLOOKUP how it look like, huh? From Excelytics, how you will guys do?
So I will teach this concept when we come to a VLOOKUP and all stuff, because I need to have a proper data for this. I don't have a data ready for this right now.
Oh, no problem, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question. Should be
Yeah,
this side. Like
yeah.
I have basic knowledge of Excel. Can I directly start with Power BI and SQL course then?
Yeah, if you are aware of this classes, you can, yes, proceed with the Power BI. If you are familiar with whatever I spoke about the course content, then you can go with the another course. So the
Yeah,
basic intention to show you the course content was this, to understand where you sit. So if you already are aware of this concepts, then I would recommend you to go for another course, like Power BI or something else.
yeah, like not completely, but yeah, I have like basic and some moderate level understanding, VLOOKUP and pivot table that I'm using like in my job role. So, do you have any idea like when the new batch is like getting started for Power BI and SQL?
So you can check with the management. I can ask the management to contact you. Shubhi Gupta, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I will ask them to contact you.
Same from me also.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So any more questions? Okay. If there are no questions, I will end this session for the day. And from tomorrow, we will start as per our course curriculum. Yeah, once I write those. All right.
We have 2
Thanks.
classes, right? For Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, this is Saturday, Sunday. We will have 10 to 1 classes. Usually it will start at 10:15. We'll give some buffer time by the time everyone comes, and then we set up our laptop and other configurations.
Next batch.
So tomorrow will be the next class. From tomorrow onwards, every Saturday and Sunday.
No, like I was asking about the timings. We have a 10 to 1 and 2 to 5, right?
Over the weekends, I am aware of 10 to 1. Did they mention you about the 2 to 5?
Yes.
So there should be a 2 to 5 class then. I'm not aware of it. I can check with them and I'll let you know.
Sure.
This was, whose question was this?
Agam.
Akam. Okay, you wanted to join the other session, right? The Power BI.
So give me some time. I'll let you know.
Okay. Okay. Although I will check and let you know.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining this session.
Thank you. Good
Thank you,
day.
Have a
sir.
good day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. It was a good session.
Thank you.
Sir, may I know your good name?
My name is Hemant. I'm sorry, I may have not introduced myself. I am Hemant. Just a brief about me. I've been a corporate trainer at Deloitte, and along with that, and then I moved my career to an application development role. So currently, I'm an application developer at Accenture. I left Deloitte. 8 years.
Thank you, sir.
So, yep.
Nice. And please let us know if any openings are there in the action choose.
Sure. Thanks.
Sure.
Once we come do the course, then only this job offer will apply, na, sir, for Accenture. Will you refer?